Hello and welcome to the first review of the 2022 season. And boys, what better way to start it off than with a win? How are we feeling?
Still buzzing, mate. Still buzzing.
Brilliant.
That's funny because you look tired as.
I was partying the last 2 days, mate, after the big win. So it's our grand final, like many
Grand final, yeah.
team supporters are telling us, but that's all right.
Well, running through the game, obviously, if you haven't heard, the Blue Baggers took it away, especially in that last quarter. 14-17, 101. If we kicked straight, we could have won by more, to Richmond, 11-10, 76. Crowd, 72,179. I think that's a bit less than all of us guessed, I think. What was your thoughts on that? Definitely felt a decent enough presence there, but do you think they should have got more? What's your opinion on that, Daffy?
Oh, mate, it was fantastic. I think it was arguably one of the best atmospheres I've ever been at. We drowned out Richmond for, usually when we verse and, yellow and black is all over the stadium, but I felt like we were just superior the other night, finally. But yeah, geez.
All the bandwagons, Richmond bandwagons have jumped off, I think, now.
Yeah, leaving it,
One game.
Where do you sit, Ethan? How was the atmosphere? Like, obviously, the atmosphere was good. Where do you sit, mate?
Yeah, on the wing, near the interchange benches. So the members, Carlton members on the left, and it was real loud. It was good atmosphere. And it's good to send home the Tigers.
Is that where MCC is, though? Do you sit there, do you?
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
Oh, good. Pato, where do you sit, mate? How was the atmosphere where you were?
I don't know exactly where I sat. I mean, it was like around M13 or something. I think it was like around there, but it was on the same wing because I called Daffy during the game. I was like, go that literally because I was under the camera, and I was trying to find, where you were, all were actually, but I was trying to search. But the atmosphere, oh my God, unreal. Literally 72,000. I'm not a kid, it felt like at least 90,000. It was unbelievable. And when that siren went, goosebumps.
Yeah, beautiful. All right. So I sat with obviously all the members, 3 rows back on the wing, just inside gate 3, I think it was. So yeah, obviously plenty of Blue supporters, and I was with my brother, who's a Richmond supporter, so made it even better. Alrighty, moving on to some sort of talking points throughout the game. So obviously, changing game plan was terrific to see from the great man Teague, who I did see right in front of me. What was your biggest difference you took, what biggest takeaway you took from that? What was the biggest difference? And how was it, Ethan?
I think the biggest difference for me is in the quarters where we weren't in control, which was the first and third, we didn't seem to leak so many goals. We kind of held them up well, and that's obviously due to defensive structure, I guess. That's pretty much the biggest change. Because last year, we had a shit quarter. Richmond would have banged on about 8 or 9. But yeah, no, we were solid, and when we got control back, we hit the lead.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think for the first quarter, I don't think they were. I don't think they were anything special. I think it was just first round back, sort of the Blues, I guess, something like that. But I think both teams are pretty average. In the first quarter, I think we didn't take our chances as well. And I think we had 4 posters throughout the game. I think Silvani hit it twice, I think, something like that. So I was unlucky, but especially.
I think going on for that, I think our forward pressure was really good. We didn't let Richmond get it out as easy as we normally would have. That goes back to structure as well. Just a greater intensity on the ball. I think a lot of contested possessions, and obviously that's kind of a reflection of Voss's game style as a player. And I think that went a long way for us winning the game.
Absolutely, mate. Pato?
Yeah, I just think it was a massive change. Even from round 23 from last year, just that change, and even to actually see in the Pracky game a little taste of it against Melbourne and also St Kilda, but to actually see it really in full flight in round 1 against Richmond, it's just awesome to see. And I wrote there as well, 14 tackles inside forward 50 to Richmond's 1. Like, I think that's where the game changed. Like, our pressure inside forward 50 was the best I've seen it in over 10 years. It's just unbelievable. And it was kind of like, it's the way that Richmond play, but it's a different sort of style. It's something that I've never seen before. And dare I say it, it's not really something that we really see with Carlton, because we usually just kind of let off with the pressure. But just with that, it was pleasing to see. And once again, just goosebumps when we were tackling, the crowd was going ball. Like, that's what you want to see. And it was so good to see. So good to see.
Yeah, absolutely. As you said, I think it was 14 tackles inside 50 to Richmond's 1. Like, that's crazy.
Next level.
I'll get your opinion as well on the 50-meter penalty. We had 8 or 9, so what's that, like 450 meters, something like that? 400 meters. What was your opinion on that, Ethan?
I think most of them were probably there. I think that last one where they gave away 100 meters, that was clear, I think, because they had that new rule that was brought in a few years ago where you couldn't get in the way of the guy with ball in hand. That was just undisciplined from Richmond. And yeah, they might suck it up, but geez, it's their fault.
Yeah, I don't think it matters either. I think we it's always going to give you a big advantage. It is quite significant, but I think we're just a better team. It's as hard as it is, as rare as that actually is. Like, we've actually won, and we deserve to win.
Yeah.
Like, Speechley, what was your opinion on all the 50-meter penalties, mate?
I mean, yeah, as Daff said, they can cry all they want, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's their ill discipline to blame. It's not the umpires. If they didn't want to give away 50-meter penalties, then they should have not thrown the ball away. They shouldn't have, run through the restricted area. So I mean, it's it's not the umpire's fault that they gave away 50-meter penalties.
I agree. It kind of say before I go on to Pato, like, us three look pretty average, Ethan, Speech, and myself. And Pato's he's just got the professional setup, the microphone in front, he's got the headphones on, the glasses on. He just means business. Pato, 50. What was your opinion on that?
Absolutely love the talk up, Sammy. But no, like, I think they were all there. I mean, especially that one with Chera. Like, that 100 meters, you can't run in front even I think it was Jake Hart's, fell in front of Chera. That should have been another 50, but then luckily it wasn't. But then Jack Graham, he was kind of talked about being captain. I think he's a part of the leadership group. I don't know for sure, but he's definitely some sort of leader at the club, and ran straight in front of Chera. And that was probably the games. Like, as soon as he kicked that goal, that was game. So it's just stuff like that. Like, you'd never see Richmond do that. But that was so good. Like, it was just even that. I mean, moving away from the 50-meter penalties, that Chera goal. Just every single thing that happened. Awesome. Really good.
Yeah, can I say as well? I'm not saying I called it because it's round 1. It's too early, but in my opinion, I mean, Dusty's stats are pretty solid. I was saying in the speech a couple of days ago about it. He didn't really have a dusty game, did he? I don't know. He just a few of them clearances were very up and under. They weren't even at least direct to any. They just very just sort of haphazard. He just didn't seem like he had the Dusty influence, thankfully, that he has typically had over the Blues. Do you boys agree with that, or
100%?
So would that be because of our structure and the time that we put into Dusty, or do you think he just didn't have a bad game? He just had a bad game.
Maybe, but I think as well. In my opinion, it's how skinny that bloke was. If you lose weight that quick and then come back, it's going to be very hard to play football. I don't know if it's affecting him or not, but he could tear it up round 2. I don't know, but full props to him for actually playing. Obviously what he's been. But I don't know. What do you boys think, Daff?
Yeah, like I said in the preview, he's not a defensive player. There's a few times there where he was a bit, lazy, especially in the last quarter. Chera shrugged him off near the wing, which is a great moment. But he just looked. Obviously, he's been through quite a bit in the last, 5-6 months. But still, if he's playing, he's ready. So yeah, I think he averaged in the last however many games against us, which is 30 and 2 goals. He only had 21 or 23 or something, but he's one of their highest. So yeah, shows where they're at.
That was a shock when you see that come up on the scoreboard. I think they had the top sort of 6 or 7 disposal getters, and we have to have a look now. I think there was actually one Tiger in there, and that was all. But what was your opinion on Dusty's speech?
Look, yeah, I mean, it's going to be hard, as I said, to come back after all that last year and, to be Dusty, it would be hard, but I don't know. I think it was a mixture of our game plan and obviously him not being as elite as he once was, but I think Dusty's still going to have games where he's going to be Dusty.
Yeah.
And he's going to win the game off his own boot. So, I mean, I think we just it was our game plan mostly that, shut him out.
Beautiful. Pato?
Yeah, like as I said before, it was just kind of, I just think it was kind of more about our structure. Like, I just think, I mean, obviously we didn't have one set player on this guy, but as I said in the preview, it's just, you need to, I mean, as Jack said, you just need to be wary of what this guy can do, because obviously he's probably top 5 players in the comp right now, 100% when he's on. And you just need to remember that he can tear a game apart without, like, literally within a minute, he can tear the game apart. So I think it was really good. Obviously, Voss did put something into it. I don't think he was really bad. I just think that we did quite a good job on him. But once again, it's kind of a bit of both. Maybe he wasn't up to it 100%. He started off okay, but maybe it was kind of a bit like we did really well on him. He wasn't as good, but it's hard to tell. But still, we got the win.
I was very worried because I think he literally got pretty much the first clearance, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he did, yeah.
Patrick Young, I think, from memory, I could be wrong, but I think he might have got the first clearance. Speaking of clearances, 18 more to the Blue, I think, 40 to 22, I believe it was. If you were told there was no, everyone lost their mind when they realised, which is probably fair enough, they realised Sam Walsh wasn't playing, and to have such a great game and lead clearances and all that, but lead, not just regular clearances, obviously stoppage clearances, literally every stat is pretty remarkable, I would have thought. Daffy, what was your opinion on that, mate?
Oh, fantastic. I think it's been a long time since we've had depth in that midfield where every single player they work well together. You can tell every set of bounce having a chat. They're on the same page, certain blokes, the way they set up, they know who's getting it. They know where to go the next pass. We killed them. And I think in the last quarter, we didn't lose a centre clearance. And, that's kudos to Pito, which I reckon he had a pretty good game. He's just growing every game, which is great to see. TDK was great in the centre. And then, the rest of them, Kennedy, Hewitt, they're all great. Cripps, all of them, Chera. It's just fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you said it well when, I think they just, the position, they just knew where to be for each other and help each other out. When it was for a quick handball or a kick up the line, they just knew where to be. Speechley?
Yeah, I mean, not much more to add. Really, I think, just that how quickly they've been able to gel.
One thing very up and about. Get up and about, mate. We just won. We just bet the Tigers. First time since 20.
Keep it on it, mate. One round through of 23, mate. Keep it on. But no, just how quickly they've been able to gel as a midfield, I think is really good. Especially bringing 2 new blokes in from different clubs, Hewitt and Chera. I think that's quite impressive. How obviously it's only one game. But I think, it's really impressive how they've been able to gel together so quickly like that.
Hello, you agree, mate?
Yeah, no, spot on. I just think, I mean, obviously there's a few things that really made us get over the line, but I think that clearance 18 plus to Carlton, that's next level. And we haven't seen that in many years. So that was just a really positive. And as Daff said, and as Speech said as well, just the midfield kind of changed the game. And my word, we've got depth, boys. Finally, we got depth in the midfield.
Absolutely. As I said, 18 plus clearances, plus 18 clearances and 2 plus centre clearances and 16 of them stoppage clearances, which is, excuse me, insane in of itself. Were you boys ever worried? I was very confident going into the game. I thought, I don't know why, but I thought we'd win. Everyone asked me, I said, we'll win. That's the answer. We'll win. But was there ever a point during the game where you're like, we might not win this, Daffy?
Oh, I backed him in pretty much all 4 quarters, just based on what I've seen in the preseason. I know everyone says preseason, but there's a different look. You can tell by the whole team. There's a different look. The culture is much better than it has been in the last 5 years. I feel like there's a more positive and winning culture. I know most of these boys haven't been winning much over the last few years, but they just stuck to their guns. They didn't change positions during the game. They just, they didn't put Omac forward, or they just stuck to their guns, stick to the structure, and it got the job done. So it shows our system is a winning system.
So before we go on to the other boys, you mentioned Omac, so we'll stay there for a second. What was your opinion on him, mate?
I thought he struggled in the first, but I don't think their key forwards the key forwards in general in the whole game weren't really impactful. No, I think he did well. He just held his own. He's just a job doer, so he's not going to be a world beater. You got guys like, McGovern and Weeders doing that type of stuff, X factor. But yeah, he just does his thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think as well, it's a fairly new role, really, for him. Like, I don't know, like, just because obviously Liam Jones sort of going out, like, he sort of, I don't know, seems to have a bit, obviously, of a different role. But I think I think he played it pretty well. Spatially, obviously the original question, and then your opinion on how OMAC went as well, mate.
I'll go to OMAC first. Yeah, I thought, he did really well. Not much else he really could have done, I think. Obviously, Lynch got a couple of goals, but I don't think there was much else he could have done to prevent those ones. I mean, one of them, he wasn't even on him, so you can't really blame him for that one. And yeah, look, I'm going to be honest. I did not see us winning the entire game. I was worried the entire time. Even when we were up by 26 points, 3 minutes left, I was still not confident. I've seen the story too many times. Oh yeah, wasn't confident till the final siren went.
What does Lee Matthews say? More goals than minutes. It's game over.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, I think OMAC was okay. I didn't take much notes just because he, like as Duff said, I just think he is a job doer. Like he's not going to do the absolute. He's not going to get like a 20-touch game with 12 marks. I don't think he's going to do that. He's kind of more just going to lock down his forward. Voss will say to him, "You've got this guy. Do not let him touch the ball." And I think that's what he did pretty well. But there was a time that I did think we were going to lose. Like I was there with my mate Jacob, and I think when Shai Bolton kicked that goal, I was like, "Yeah, it's the same stuff." Like 20 points down in the fourth quarter, and to also win by I don't know how much we won in the end, but it was a 7-goal quarter in the fourth quarter, and from me, I was silent till probably about 5 minutes left. And then as soon as Cherokee hit that goal, I knew that was it. And it's just unbelievable because that moment is so good and surrounded by surrounded by the Blue Baggers. It's a different feeling. And it's something that we haven't really had before, but let's hope there's many more memories to come.
Flaggers, you mean? Blue flaggers.
Flaggers. Flaggers, chat.
Just on goals as well. Sam Doherty, boys. How were we feeling when we saw that goal? Obviously, it was pretty emotional. So good to see the boys get around him, almost like it was like a debutant sort of thing, getting a goal almost. Like everyone got, but even more so, everyone has got around him, which I think is absolutely great. How are you feeling there, mate? Daffy, were you buzzing then, mate?
Yeah, it was quite emotional actually. He's been through a lot over the last 4 years, 2 ACLs. Obviously getting through cancer a few times. He's just an absolute hero. He had a ripper game as well. And that guy, he deserved that goal. I've watched it so many times on YouTube and highlights and that, and just the way the commentators let the crowd noise go through the TV, it was just fantastic. And yeah, it was just speechless, mate. Speechless.
Speaking of speechless. What's your opinion? How are you feeling? Did you shed a tear at all?
Definitely was on the verge, mate. It was one of those moments where you kind of don't know like what to do because you're just kind of just in awe of the moment. I think as well, like the crowd, the boys getting around him. Obviously, the moment itself, it's just one of those moments that you just wow. You're just grateful to have been able to be there and witness that and feel that.
I think what builds it up more is he's obviously an unlikely goal kicker for one, and two, it wasn't like they didn't bring him forward and put him 100-meter penalty and into the square. We knew it was going to be a goal before he kicked it. Like it was actually a good goal. Yeah, it was actually solid. I think he's directly in front of it, but he's pretty far back. Like it's a pretty solid goal. So I think that would you never knew it was a goal until he sort of kicked it. It was like he's 10 meters out. You know what I mean? Which sort of built the moment up more, which is good. Pato?
Yeah, as soon as everyone knew that ball was going in, that change of sound. I actually wanted to know how loud that actually sound was, because for 72,000, for about a minute straight, everyone was on their feet. And I reckon some Richmond supporters, obviously they weren't cheering, but they would have been clapping because everyone would have been looking at that goal. And even Sam Doherty, what a star, what a hero, what a legend.
Yeah.
That's like, I mean, like as Duff said, just emotional. Like that was pure emotion. Like that was just everyone and seeing every single player getting around Doherty. Oh, it's just so good to see because this is what we've been asking for. Just some sort of unity in this club.
Yeah.
We need to see
Culture
more.
building.
Yeah, and we just need to see more of this. And as sad as that was with Doherty going through cancer, I think it's probably somewhat of a positive that he actually got through that and it kind of united the club. Because also with shaving their head last year, like Sam, you also did it as well. So well done to you. But also the club as a whole, just every single player, every single coaching staff. I don't know about every coaching staff, but it was just so good to see. And you can tell that they care. You can tell.
Yeah, I agree. There's been instances where like say debutant kicks a goal. We've been I guess poised for not really getting around them as much and just not really having that on field. I don't know, like the brotherhood almost, I guess. And I think as you said so well, it was definitely shown when Doherty kicked that goal, which was amazing to see. Before we get stuck into our predictions as well, boys, I've been going pretty well. It's got to be said. I didn't get first goal or anything like that, but I'm making some pretty big calls out here, and they're coming to fruition. So I don't know if I'm psychic. I don't know what it is, but Cripper of old, Daffy. What did you think of his game, mate?
Yeah, fantastic. I was a little bit worried in the first quarter. The ball was a bit dewy, so I was giving him a chance. But yeah, he's fantastic. Captain's game, big moments. He delivered set shots. In years past, we've always had big moments as a club during a match, and we always, hit the post or miss. But he just did kick it every single time, and most players did last night, especially in the last quarter. But yeah, he's just a bull, and I'm sure he's happy that he has an engine room with Kennedy, Hewitt, Chera, just to name a few. So yeah, brilliant
Absolutely.
game.
And congratulations, obviously go out to Cripper and Mon, I believe her name is, on being recently. But yeah, it's a difference there. Like, you say Dusty is usually 30 disposals, 2 goals. Patrick Cripps, 30 disposals and 3 goals and 3 ripped shirts. Like, kicking goals, which is, I mean, on the run goals have always been a pretty solid from him, but like set shot goals, like were never really his forte. Like, which I think he got 1 of, I believe, over his 3. Could be wrong. So I think that was good to see as well. Just the accuracy in the two of them, was it?
2 of them, yeah,
2. Even better. Because usually, he was prone to miss a few. So 3 goals straight. Very happy with that. Speechless.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely felt very 2019 Cripple like. As Duff said, that first quarter was a little bit iffy. It was a little bit scary. But I mean, everyone was bad, so can't really say much about that. But yeah, it was just the way he put the team on his back when we needed him to, and then everyone came on for the ride after that. He led from the front really well, and I think being a sole skipper, I know it's been 1 game, but it's looking like it's working for him. He was just a beast. Not much really else to say.
Mostly, I think he's a big name player as well. You know what I mean? Like he lives for the moment type thing. Like he loves the pressure on him almost. He's a warrior really. So he'd love just that sole captaincy, just his way on the highway types. You know what I mean? Like just leading the group of boys and leading by example. I think he certainly did that. Pato?
Yeah, I just think he was probably by far the best. And you can tell that every single. Like he is a person that brings the fans, because you can tell that when they went through the players and they I think Sam Doherty probably got the second best loudest ovation, but Cripper when Cripper showed up on that screen when they went through the players, just that was another level, and that's just why he brings people to the footy. Like his sort of game, he's a sort of player that actually gets people into the door, and his game next level. Probably not Cripper of old. I think this is the new Cripper, because you can tell that he's focused more on his goal kicking. I don't really like him going forward. I kind of like him being a midfielder that kicks goals, and I just think that's what I saw. That's what we saw. And my word, as we all said, is a captain's performance, and he was so good to see. Really, him just stepping up when it mattered most.
Completely agree, mate. I think there's any need for him to go, forward as well. Enough boys down there to do the job. we kicked 100 points as well with only one goal between Mackay and Kerno, which is crazy in of itself. Durden, 2 goals plus, it says here. Fisher 1, Silvani 1, Martin 1. I think that was the difference. Midfielders sort of became goal kickers. Whether it was Chera, Kennedy, O'Brien, Hewitt, Cripps, and then obviously Doherty as well, all finishing with at least 1 goal. I think that's good signs. If your forwards are, whether it's having a bad day, they're shut out of the game, just to have the ability for the other guys to score goals and get to a decent, very good total as well. I think it's good signs. Staffy, what's your thoughts, mate?
Yeah, I think both Charlie and Harry just struggled to get out easy on the lead. Usually every ball that was going in was going on the top of their head, which is usually a strength for them, but they just didn't seem to get their hands on the pill. Credit to Robbie Tarrant, Broad, and their other backs who are really irrelevant right now. But yeah, I think how good was Durden, mate? Seriously, sky's the limit for that kid. He's actually a really good footballer. He's not just a pressure forward. I don't know how many touches he had. It would have been double digits, definitely.
Yeah.
He fed a few balls into Harry. Harry's goal was actually a kick from Durden. Yeah, mate, that's all I'm going to say. Sky's the limit.
Corey Durden, 14 disposals, 7 kicks, 7 handballs, 3 marks, 1 tackle, 2 goals, 1 behind. Speechless. What was your thoughts, mate?
Yeah, look, I mean, on the Harry, I'm not going to umpire bash or anything. But he was held like nearly every marking contest, so it's a bit hard as a forward. And then Dusty gets touched by Zachy Williams and gets a free kick.
Yeah,
whatever.
Don't get me started on that.
But yeah, so it's a little hard for him in that regard. But yeah, I think the Richmond defenders still did a good job on him and Kerno. They couldn't really get any free space, and yeah, as Daff said, just the onslaught of everyone else chipping in when our main guys aren't able to.
Absolutely, and as you said, on the umpire bashing, we will save that for when we lose next. But
exactly.
Jack Rod, what was your thoughts on Jack's free kick? Speechless. Jack Rod, remember that
one? Which one?
Yeah, which one?
The one where he just
the one where he looked like he got shot by a sniper.
Yeah, it looked like literally. It reminded me of, I think it was Mitchell Marsh or Stoynes, whatever. He looked like where he literally like someone's literally from the crowd just lined him up.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. I wasn't very happy with that, but it's right.
Nice. Went well. Pato.
I don't think there's too much more to add from that. I just think that it's just good that we still converted 100 points without Harry Mackay or Charlie Kerno, our key forwards really doing much. And it's so good to see the small forwards really add to their game. Really, it was really good to see.
Absolutely, mate. So I'll get to this next bit sort of quickly. I think we've already sort of covered most of it, so I'll just read this out. New Blues, obviously Chera and Hewitt. Fans say starred in front of a almost packed MCG. Great, superb debut. Chera 30 touches, 6 tackles, 80% efficiency with 1 goal. Hewitt 28 touches, 5 marks, 79% efficiency with 1 goal. And although it wasn't his debut as well, it was almost like it was like a debut though, because he's just like he's the new player, Matty Kennedy. I don't know if it's just playing under a new coach, what it is, but 33 touches, 1 goal, 4 tackles, 54% efficiency though. What was your opinion on his game as a whole, Ethan Daffy?
Yeah, I think for Kennedy, I know obviously he would probably rather a higher efficiency, but that's not really his role. He's more of a hands out, get it forward type of operator. Touch on Chera and Hewitt. Jesus Christ, they've just come into the side and really smooth. And I think it is such a joy to see recruits come in and not face the pressure of losing round 1 again. Like right now, they build that momentum onto the Dogs next week and obviously this season. But yeah, Chera superb. He's just classy. He's just a classy midfielder, and I'm sure he'll build on it even more. I know he's had a ripping game, but I think he'll be a game changer. George Hewitt. Can we just say there was a 15-minute period, I reckon, in the last quarter where he was unstoppable. I'm like it was nuts. Like Richmond could not get a handle of him. He was just everywhere. I think I think there's a YouTube channel, Carlton Blues fans, shout out, who do highlights of individual players. And I was just watching each player. And that last quarter, he was just getting hands. He was doing blind turns, hitting targets. I think we found a real gem. And I think Sydney, getting rid of him is a, shout out Noel Fisher, is a bit of a mistake.
Speechless.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the 54% efficiency is too much of an issue in a game where not many players really were very clean with their disposal, especially in the first half. So I think that's not a massive issue. I think if it's a consistent trend, then obviously you'd want it to be a little higher. But yeah, Ken, I mean, man, he was probably best on if Cribber didn't go off. So he was being lucky. Probably get shafted the 3 votes because Cribber. But yeah, and obviously the new boys, Cherry and Hewitt, just slotting in so seamlessly. It was incredible to see. Yeah, just so happy with their performance. It was so good.
Absolutely, mate. And before we go to you, Pato, so obviously you're the hard worker out of the group. You put together this beautiful outline of how the episode runs, and you did put 54% efficiency down, and it did say it was a talking point, which it was. Do you have differing opinions than Ethan and Speechley on the 54% disposal efficiency, mate?
I just think it's hard to really point out the 54 because you kind of need to look at it as he had 33 disposals, and obviously his sort of impact. We saw it, and in the game, I'm actually surprised that Cherry and Hewitt got 80% each. That's a high number for a lot of touches in the game. And I just think 54. I don't know. I don't think I kind of just put that as a talking point because I personally don't think he was. I thought he was actually pretty good with his ball use. I think he actually used the ball pretty well. Maybe he could have used it a little bit better, but I think the efficiency side of it, it's kind of they are a little bit harsh on, say, if he does something and he makes a small mistake, that just brings this huge percentage down. And it's kind of hard to really get it. But I think to me, he was definitely second best on ground. I think Cooper probably takes the chocolates. I think he was probably best on ground. But Sharon Hewitt, my word, as we said, both of them were pretty much on debut. Cherry especially, I'm very impressed with because he's never played it in front of a crowd like that. And my word, Chera, I think when he came out of the middle, I think it may have been the second quarter, but he came out of the middle and he took the ball. Everyone was cheering. It was just I love every single one of these boys, but Chera, my word, he is close to a cold hero because we've found someone here, boys. And George Hewitt, my word, I've said my word about 3 times in the past minute, but
word.
There's really not much more. There's not much really more to say because once again, as I said earlier in the episode, we've got depth, and it's so good to see. It's so good.
Finally.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll wrap up the episode soon, so Pato can get stuck into a dictionary and get some new sayings. 20 points down to the 4th. We already touched on it. Some of you believe would win. One in particular believe we would never because he's very negative. But then came the 7-goal onslaught. All right, final thoughts. We've touched on pretty much everything. Final thoughts. Obviously, important. This was a huge confidence boost for us. First time we've been 1-0 since 2012. We had to end the streak. Obviously, I think we've beaten Richmond since 2013. Obviously, the elimination final. I think it was. So it's great to see the Blue Baggers all rise as one together after a win start of the season. We didn't win by enough though. We are second on the ladder, but oh well. Stop the count. Ethan, final thoughts, mate. Wrap it up for us.
Oh, fantastic. We were just immense at the footy, tough at the footy, hard at it all day, stuck to the structure and, shows when you have a bit of fucking structure, where does it take you? So, yeah, up the fucking Blues.
Absolutely. Especially.
I mean, there's still 6 games to go in the round, but right now we are, as I said, second. We haven't ended a round in the top 4 since, I think, round 7, 2012. So it'd be nice if results go away, rest stay close, and we end the round top 4. It'd be nice. Yeah, I mean, 1 round in of 23. As good as it is to finally get the duck off the back. So you get the win, be happy about it, but then, move on to the next week against the Dogs as well.
And just on that, this is not the prediction episode, not a preview episode for the next game. We're not even thinking about it yet. We will beat the Dogs. We should beat the Dogs.
Yep. Lock it in.
I
I
mate.
love it.
You know, spot on.
Hannah looks so proud, man. Just sitting back, and quietly nodding, like a proud.
My word.
I'm just my word.
Oh.
No, like I'm just stoked with how we played. Like as we said, we haven't seen something like this. And I was telling you boys during the week at uni, I was shitting myself because I was just so worried about. Yes, we played so good in the Pracky game, but to see that exact same. I mean, obviously it was a bit on and off, a little bit more against Richmond than it was against Melbourne, but to see that sort of game plan still stick out through the whole game, 20 points down in the last quarter. Last year, we would have dropped our heads and probably lost by 40. And to come back in a 7-goal onslaught, bloody hell.
My word.
But I just think right now,
Flaggers.
Oh,
No,
See, I
I'm not trying to get ahead of myself here, but seriously, like the sky's the limit. No, I'm not making any calls. I'm just saying the sky's the limit.
Yeah.
Like you see teams like Melbourne, the year before they came 9th or 10th, they were a bit mediocre still. They fly up the ladder. I'm not saying we're going to win the flag. I'm just saying the sky is a limit. I don't think we can have a limit this year.
Yeah.
With this group we have. Seriously.
But also, no predictions, but flaggers.
Flaggers.
I mean, that's perfect. I mean, Richmond 100 point defeating, wasn't it? Sydney Swans, and then won the premiership the next year. So yeah, beautiful. Anything else to add, boys? Obviously, we do have to add as well. I think Jack Martin played pretty well. Good goal there. We'll get your thoughts on him in a second, but we'd like to mention obviously the coach, Michael Voss, and I think it was Jack Martin coming down with COVID, isn't it?
Yep.
At this stage, we film on Saturday morning at 10:20 a.m. We'll wait and see if anything further develops from that. But I believe Hansen is going to be coaching, I believe. So we'll wait and see what happens there. And we wish Vossi and Martin, obviously, and whoever else, I think it was maybe some staff members as well, whoever, well in their recovery. And hopefully everything goes well, as I'm sure it will. And as always, thank you all for watching, and make sure you like, follow, subscribe, share, do the lot. And Pato's showing off his wardrobe. And as always, Pato,
go the body blue.
Come on.